Let's go. Oh man, right, we are back. And we should be live. Sweet. Ooh, I've been away for a little while taking my jollies. So now we're going to check out what is going on with the new update before the Unreal Engine live stream. So there's a live stream in what, 7 o'clock? 2.5 hours where they should also go through this, but I don't see them tend to go through like details. So if you've got any questions or anything, then let's try and see what we can figure out as well. Let me just move some stuff around and then we'll crack on. So yeah, I hope everyone's well. In the UK, it is ridiculously hot. So I hope everyone's staying safe. We are nearly there and then we'll take a look. See what's new, see what's been improved. From what I can see, there's a lot of changes, but I'm not sure if those changes will help or make us worse off. And then we'll also update our animation files sometime during this weekend. So the animations will be up and rocking and rolling for everyone to use, even if you don't use GASP, which is going to be important too. Right. Last bit to do. So it looks like this is the last game animation sample update that we're going to get, because Caleb Longmire, who made it, and the gentleman who made the camera system as well, they are, yeah, they're not doing it anymore. Obviously, with Unreal moving to the new system. Verse, they're not going to do any more updates or game animation sample project, which would be sad, because I know a lot of people like this, but we'll see. So there's a new physics control component. Let's take a look at that. Multi-character motion matching and post-search interaction assets. Okay, take a look at that. This looks a lot like context. What's it called? Contextual animations. So I don't know if that's going to be better, because I've always found contextual animations to be not great. But I know a few people have had very good luck with them. Playing Halo, I'll be quiet. I'm going to be asking you lots of questions about Halo in a bit, mate, because I haven't got the new one, so I don't know what the new AI is like, if anything. Do they still do the old runaway screaming if... what's it called? If they get you. You know what I mean. Let's see. I don't want my stats docked. YouTube live control panel. There we go. Oh, it is warm. Right. The ragdoll pawn. I took a quick look at this as I loaded it up. This could be problematic for us, because this is in Mover, and if it's using Chaos Mover, then I reckon that's going to not be useful to a lot of people. So we'll take a look at that. Look at control rig. We already kind of had this, like it was already possible to do this, but it's cool that it's here, so we'll take another look. Locomotion improvements. This is what I'm most interested in, because we always knew that we could use blend spacers inside GASP 5.8, but now we've actually got an example of that, which is useful. Will it be easier to change speed? That's one of the big questions that I've got. Will it be easier for us to change the speed of our character? Like, if we can't just quickly change the speed, then it could be a difficulty. Smart object interactions. So this is being able to use it as a player and not just have the NPCs use smart objects. and that's it. But I think there's probably more. There's some combat stuff in here that wasn't showcased, and a few other bits as well. So this is my first time opening this up. This is the first time looking at it. We're going to go through it together, and we'll struggle muffin our way through it as much as we can. But if you do have any questions or anything that you want to see or look at, then drop a comment below and we'll see what we can do. The AI is just as good as I remember it. The grunt's panic and running is fully there. Nice. Only issue I had is some elites speaking English. Okay. Go to the site photographer. I need to get it and then we can play it together. That'd be good. Kevin from Florida, Lakeland. Sup, man? I hope that you are having a good time. Is it as hot in Florida as it is here? It's 34 here at the minute. I am sweltering. Having access to the whole smart object as a player is so good. Yeah, it should be. Should I take a look at that first? Let's take a look at that first. Hopefully, by the end of this weekend, we will also have the new animation pack updated. I'm surprised this wasn't in at the start of when they released smart objects. Like, I feel like this was a missed opportunity. What's the only thing that left that they could do to make the city sample class characters swappable to mover points? I don't think you're going to see any sample projects until 6 comes out at all. Alright, like, it's super basic, but it's still good fun. You know the thing that I do enjoy about this, and it's probably not spoken about enough, if I come up and press E here, no. Oh, okay, how interesting. So it has to be pretty close. But there's a chooser that chooses which animation based on angle of approach. But it doesn't take full control of my player, so it actually wasn't here that it was available. It probably kicks off just here. But then you can see it, like, does the whole collision thing, which is a bit weird. So let's take a look and see how does that actually work. The chooser in front of the bench on the floor when you show the interactor. Yeah, but if you press E, you should... It depends how they're doing the object trace, I suppose. Let's have a look. Let's see what we're working with. How are we setting up the interaction? This is new. This is also new. Strafe, aim, jump, Z. That's useful. Okay, so the interaction isn't in the character, it's going to be in the controller then. As I say, this is the first time I've opened up this project as well, so we're going to struggle muffin through it together. Oh, okay. Smart object animation. I wonder if it's inside the actual component then. In a minute, there we go. So we interact with it. We check if we've got an AI controller. If we don't, then we check that the state tree component is valid. If not, then we add a state tree component and then we run the state tree. This is the player state tree. So you know what's weird here is that it's not checking any distances at all. So if I do this for duration, that's just added and is running the state tree and it's not removing it currently so far, according to what we've seen. So it doesn't even, wouldn't it just be better to check this over here? Interesting. Okay. We make the smart object request. Find smart objects. Smart objects are probably one of my least favorite things to look at. Maybe the radius is a bit too short. I mean, it's a box, so it should be fine. I reckon it's got to be something to do. It's like it hits here, but it might not have a backwards animation. But we'll see. Find closest free slot. Yep. I mean, that's the standard stuff. Players interacting. Send state tree event. Loop the animation. They've got move inside smart object, but that can't work. Okay, let's take a look at this a sec. How interesting. So this is the mover character. Does that mean they've changed how the move input works? Open the produce input ting. Produce input. Set directional. No, that's exactly the same. How interesting. Imagine Alex potentially we've not got that far just yet. What I am finding to be confusing is we've got this enhanced input here, but the mover doesn't use enhanced input for move, it uses produce input. But this is still triggering, so there must, it's like triggering twice. How interesting. Okay, let's see what the state tree looks like for our player. So there's a player state tree. So we have the using object event, transitions here, takes the payload. There's no tasks here. Claims the slot, which is pretty standard. And then find the slot location. So this gets the transforms of our item. So if we do debug, draw debug sphere, location. What's the, this isn't the right one. What's the right one? Draw debug sphere. I always get confused between the two. Draw debug library or draw debug sphere. Draw debug sphere. That's what I want. Radius, duration 1, thickness 1. Let's just break this a sec. Sweet. Okay, let's go and interact with something, see what happens. Okay, so it doesn't even register that there's a thing here, but it does here. So there's got to be something before that where we claim in this slot. Enter state, claimed handle is free. Is handle free? Where's this even being called? Claim slot using smart object. Yep. Payload struct. Yep. Because we're not even getting to the play entry. I'm missing something. I must be missing something. Find closest free slot. I reckon it's this. I reckon we're failing just here if we're looking at it from behind. Slot ready to claim false. So yeah, it's not. If you read the comments, then you know. So now we know. Ooh. So that's why if you're behind it, it doesn't allow it. But saying that, right? If we remove that and we put in, there's a chooser. Where's the chooser? There it is. So here, if you put in a new animation with motion warping. So right now, all of these animations are, because like you would think that this would be behind, that you could curve around and come here. But then this isn't actually being used anyway. Why is this not being used? Okay. Oh no, it's the montage. Apologies. Okay, so it is being used here. So this is the target angle, minus 180 to 120. I wonder if we could just change that to be... This is check, make sure it's not behind the smart object. Isn't this? Let's try that. Yeah, currently, so like here you would need a brand new animation because I presume that's just going to teleport it through, like so. But like here, this is what I want. There we go. So you're going to have to make a check that checks if we are here. But there are animations already, or if we are just here. So if I add this back in again, let's add. And then... So like here doesn't work. And then here still doesn't work. But if we do it our way, the different way, then all of that will work 2-6. Okay, so that's one thing to be aware of. We can make it do the pine stuff. And the reason it's going through the bench most of the time is we're not doing the motion warping. So in these animations, it doesn't seem to do motion warping. So I'm just going to change to my hotspot. Where art thou, Sky Internet? 2 seconds. Right. There we go. Should be reconnected now. So, let's see. Might be because they haven't coded a predictive path to it and the animation will play wrong. Yeah, likely it's because they've not done something, and that's fine, because just life. But what we can do is, if we could do motion warping up to here, motion warping to here, and then carry on the rest of the animation like so. That wouldn't be overly difficult. Because right now there is no motion warping, and all we need to do is pull some motion warping to let our character go to the right slot. But the good news is there are animations for it that we can use, because they turn off the collision so that it goes through. Like, you could have a really cool animation that if you were at the back, it just hops over it and then sits down. That would be pretty sick. So yeah, let's see. Just make the player pathfind to the spot as if it was that easy. Yeah, pretty much. You would motion warp to it or choose a different animation. I think your different animation is probably going to look sicker. Like, if they just did a little hop jump over and then they were on the bench, I think that would look mint. But the problem with that is there isn't a like move to node in here. There's a find slot, there's a play entry. You see we set the collision here, and then we played the motion matched montage just here. Play the sitting montage. So you would have to build a new motion matching, not motion matching, motion warping. So motion matching is the database selection, and motion warping is the animation setup. Right, sweet. Let's look at that little bit looked at. Let's see the other things. What shall we look at next? If anyone has any thoughts, let me know. I'm gonna go here. Whee. I don't think there's any changes here. No. One thing I did notice. Let me just change this back to check something. They still haven't put a slide in here. That's disappointing. The big fun is the ragdoll map. I think people are gonna regret saying that, honestly, because I don't think that you're gonna want to play with that ragdoll. So shall we? Let's check out the ragdoll map and let's see what we are saying on here. So this is ragdoll, right? How do we activate the ragdoll? Enter ragdoll is our get up, show up, tackle. Sweet. Okay. This is your ragdoll. That's cool. I like the whole movement setup that we have here. I forgot how to get up. Right. Enter ragdoll, get up is space. Gotcha. Space is also jump. Right, get up is the jump, mate. Shove the left takedown, spawn. Aiming E, spawn a dummy. Nice. So the ragdoll's fine. How the ragdoll is set up, I think, is what people are not looking at. So everyone's advertising the fact that there's a ragdoll, and that's fine. No one's taking a look to see how the ragdoll is evaluating itself, which is not so fine. Because it's not the CMC, it's mover. And I don't think there's enough details about mover currently. Although this is a child. I love how they've labeled this for demo only can be removed safely. That's fun. Interaction input, yeah. Take down, take down. Trigger ragdoll. Stop any active montages. Set simulator physics. Set physics. Enter ragdoll state. Set physics profile. Okay, this is interesting. The issue with mover is that there's no docs for it. Like, show me the documentation for mover that tells you how to set up a new movement mode. It literally doesn't exist. Like, can I dissect it to 5.5? Hell no. It takes hours to just pull the animation out of here. Like, I can pull the animations and have them as animation files so you can use them as 5.5, but I'm not going to do a whole 5.5 project. So they'll be set up. The pack will be updated, hopefully at some point today. Not today, maybe tomorrow. Or whatever, the weekend. I was going to say the weekend. So you can use, but I'm not going to like put them in 5.5 as a project file. They'll just be an animation file you can download as now, so you can use them in any version. So This is cool. I like it. I do enjoy it. I think it is nice. I think the takedown stuff is cool as well. Getting free animations that we can use. Too sick. What's the takedown thing? Takedown, shove is E. Got it. So I think that's cool. I like to see it. Who doesn't? I would like there to be a lot more documentation on mover. Exit ragdoll, Q movement mode. You don't Q the movement mode, so. Oh, yeah, we do. What's the ragdoll movement mode look like? That's what we want to see. BP ragdoll movement mode. Nice. Ragdoll. Ragdoll movement mode. There we go. Ooh, missing some of these comments. My bad. Can I ask you a question about making an NPC drag another NPC's body? You can ask me a question. Is the question, how does a NPC drag another NPC's body, or is there another question? You have to look at everything yourself since Mover has been introduced. I don't know why it's so obscure. They really do want people to look into it, and it's much more complex user. Yeah. That's the issue. Is lack of documentation. Standard pretty much. Is it standard? I would agree that it's standard, but there's a community of information out there, whereas Mover, there's not. Like if you look up Mover for like just anyone who's doing tutorials on Mover, you probably might find a handful of people. But if you look up anyone that's doing a tutorial on CMC, you'll find loads. Now, is that partly because there's lots? Like there's lots of people doing it already, so it's easier to do? Maybe. So I don't know. It's a toughie. Get data, get location. So we do a spear trace all the time. Let's get rid of this. Draw debug. We're tracing the entire time we're in Ragdoll. Like that. Interesting. Now imagine if you were doing a stream and someone spammed the same thing constantly. How would that make you feel? Ah. That's a joke. Like that. Clyde, my man. I saw your video, mate. Love you, mate. Love your stuff, as usual. I hope you are well. We haven't had a catch up in a while. So this is cool. I'm upset. Not upset. I'm perplexed. That's a better word. I like perplexed. So, okay, right. First off, I'm not Clydey. So, like, face reveal, not Clydey. That's a different bloke. I've been accused of being Clydey a couple of times. Right. So yeah, perplexed as to why they put this in Mover rather than in CMC, considering CMC is where they are and Mover is like what is it? Mover is new. That's for want of a better word. Why they would not just include it in the CMC version and keep it in the Mover version is a bit of a mind boggle. So yeah, this traces all the time when it's falling. I'm going to do some like proper stuff here. We can see that fucking Spartan kick is sick. That's too cool. Love that. Like, it is super cool. Although why it triggers ragdoll when I'm running up stuff. Are they trying to do the whole GTA thing? Like that. That's funny. movers where the animations are going, CMC is being depreciated. Is that true? Like, technically, I suppose movers also being depreciated. Technically, I suppose UE5 is being depreciated, but that's a whole separate conversation. Okay, right. So there's the ragdoll. That's cool. We got cool animations. We'll update our animation pack in due time. Epic can show me appreciation. No, Epic dislikes me greatly. If they did like me, they'd fix my blooming animation pack. This traversing is the flying mode, but there's also flying. Okay. Does the mover character have flying already? Interesting. There's a new. Wait, no, there's something I want to check. Sorry. I told you this is very raw. Like gameplay stuff. Okay. So ragdoll not replicated. Which I imagine would be the thing, because physics. Hard to replicate. But it's worth knowing. Just check the listen server. I'm pretty sure that's going to be the same. But yeah, so it's not replicated for the ragdoll stuff. Fair enough. Not everything can be replicated. It takes time to replicate stuff. Someone told me the bumpers are funny. I think I've seen people play with that already. How are these bumpers triggering? Sorry, let me turn it off multiplayer. Play standalone. How are we triggering the ragdoll? Because we've got to be checking stuff on tick, right? This... Oh man. Simple obstacle, smack arm. Interesting. Like, where I'm from, a smack arm is something completely different to what is going to be here. When this hits here, on begin overlap branch is the time I'm playing. Play from the start, set to loop in. Let's go to the set play rate, play the timeline. Did you know you can do a timeline by this? Just by doing this, you don't actually have to call it here. This calls it without actually setting a node up. It's super confusing. But it is funny. It's like that TV show. Do you mean... Oh man, there's so many, right? There's Takeshi's Castle. You got Wipeout in the UK. There's got to be a trigger for this being hit, right? Somewhere along the line. Somewhere, somehow, it's called in trigger ragdoll. But it's not inside here. Not inside simple obstacle, not inside here. So it's got to be inside the player. Ooh. Which means that it's probably set control multiplier. No. Post ABP tick. They are running a lot on tick, aren't they? There we go. So we're tracing for obstacles just here. We've got a whole new collision type of type obstacle. Eddie with the dono. Appreciate you, man. Thank you very much. You really didn't need to, but I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. We'll catch up in a bit. Right, let's see. Yeah. So it's tracing constantly. This will turn green when we get smacked. There we go. Feels expensive. I wonder why they chose that. I like to do this before the thing at 7 o'clock, so that I know what questions I might want to ask. I don't know if it's useful for you guys, but this is just my process. We're still in Ragdoll. We're still in Ragdoll. So I'm conscious that a lot of this is just me clicking around and going, I don't know what the hell I'm looking at because it's brand new. So I appreciate you all sticking with me. So this is an event on CWAR change console variables. Then there's the tick prerequisite component, and then we bind into the post tick. Jesus, everything is ticking. Binds to tick, add tick prerequisite component for the physics control, and then creates the controls to the motor. These things always look so huge. And then we do all this, set ragdoll. This Q ragdoll mode, I took a look at this. This traces along the floor every time on tick, simulation tick, gets the data from here, gets the location from the sync state, tries to move it, adds the velocity, and that's how we're rolling along the floor because we're in this movement mode state, and then we just like move around. So I do here. That's how we're able to like roll over. I think this is cool. Builds up speed. But it's doing that while we're inside this movement. What's my dog doing? It's freaking out at the kids and the missus bringing in the stuff from our holiday, which is why I've been away for a little while. There was something I wanted to see inside here. B movement mode flying, and then there's this flyer movement mode, which is the C++ version. In this B movement mode flying, I don't think we're calling this. Anyway, let's have a look. Let's get some movement mode map. I think I want to do this in the actual mover pawn itself. The new mover ragdoll character has more sensors taking every frame than a SpaceX spaceship. I would hope not. And like, I want space Final Frontier and all that shit, but like that's scary. But it does tick a hell of a lot. Let's see if there's something related to flying inside here. Debug flying mode. So, flying not, if that's true, flying mode on. We can press Z and get a flying mode. With no animations, obviously, but it's cool that it already exists. It's not very realistic. Let me check this one. No, thank you. but it is cool that it exists. You can do some cool stuff with this. The fact that the movement mode is there and available is nice. How are they doing the animations? Are we still using state machine weird blend stack way? Or have we changed? Two-way blend from here to there. I like how this is labeled now because it was horrible before. But is it better than what it was? I don't think it is. I think it's still using this horrible function. Still using this chooser. This is fine. Okay, this is the bit that I was also trying to check. Run loops. There's a slope bit here, which I think is fun because this has got a blend space in. They stole this from Titan. So if we run over to none of these levels, so we're always able to use blend spaces inside of post search databases and choosers and stuff. But it was always really difficult, and so I never made a tutorial on it because I got it to work maybe once and could never get it to work again. Level, there we go. Default level. Let's see. So we want the CMC. What? Okay. This is where I find out that they've not even put it in the CMC. It's all like mover coded. Because my preference is the CMC. Let's see. Dense database for dense men. Run starts, run loops. Okay. So yeah, no, this is all mover coded. That is very frustrating. Ooh. Right, let's show. So here's the mover one, and then here's it doing it's like slow jog, and then it's like fast little jog. And that should be using the chooser blend space for the run slopes. Animations out. Post search history, PSD locomotion loops. This workflow is crazy complicated. Sprint is the same. Walk is loops. Should match sync phases flag is not available. This is required for proper what? So it places it in the history, which is interesting. But then it loops it out of it. Okay, let's see inside here. Let me just close some tabs. This will freak out my computer. 2 seconds. Oh man. I'm surprised that it's not using Chaos Mover for the ragdoll. chosen anim not equal to true. Did I do this, or has it always been this scrunched up? I think I did this. So this passes in the pose history, which then evaluates the chooser based on the pose history. How are we getting the state name, previous state? How are we getting the slope angle? I think we're just getting the floor. So this is the side slope angle. Yep. But how is it passing in to this blend space? Splice? What's a splice? So it passes in the movement direction. And then it outputs this. Okay, so it's looking at which movement direction is forward. That's all it cares about. And then it works out the slope based on chosen anim on the blend side. Change the blend side. I'll try to blend it there. So that should fix those weird pivot issues we had. Kind of, but not really. Okay. Still don't see how this blend space here is being pushed from this. So I can see how it's choosing the blend space because it's just choosing our moving direction. Then it's outputting this structure of tags equal BS slope. Right, there's got to be something that I am missing. I think it's going to be inside. Not here. Locomotion transition, locomotion loop. Because that runs this on state entry. And then this goes out here. Adds the lean. This is ragdoll. We're not bothered about this right now. Procedural feet, procedural full body. Blend time, animation time. I can't see anywhere where we're assessing the slope to be able to tell it what value this has. Which I think is super weird. Let's see, reference viewer. Pose match, yep. It only gets referenced outside here and inside here. State name, locomotion loop. Yeah, this should be safe here. There isn't a future release. This is funny. There's currently a limitation in choosers where even if outputs an array of assets, only the first valid output struct will be output. That's annoying. This should be fixed in a future release, but what future release? Because it won't be fixed. They've already said this is the last one. So how is that a thing? Mm-hmm. This is the thing. It blocks the transition here. Some twist to fix it now. Yeah, maybe potentially. That'd be funny. I think it's using the contact L, contact R, and the enable warping is my theory. So if we come back out into here, so it blends them. It blends them using this two-way blend node, and then it pre-layers the animation. So that's just for the sliding. This is the additive lean. And then this is the offset root bone. Procedural feet, procedural full body. Basic IK. I imagine that we're just using basic IK through the whole thing. But we shall see. Event tick caches data. Let's see, shall we? Right, that's something to look at in a sec. Update state, update aim offsets. So, oh, okay, wait. Are we saying in the tick that it goes to the anim instance and updates the slope? Because we update the floor value here. I tried to find the floor. Yep. Get our location, floor normal. That's fine. But that's not the same as the slope. Cache inputs. Yeah. Properties for add door, properties for traversal. Ground normal, floor normal. Might have to come back to this one. So there's got to be somewhere that there's got sorry, I'm stuck on this. There's got to be somewhere that this minimum and maximum access value is changed so that you are not just here. This is the normal one, and then this is your lower and upper. Like this is the bit that is tripping me up. This value has to be set somewhere. And that's the yeah, that's the kicker. There are a lot of tick interactions here. I'll 100% grant that. But there's no, all the slope angle stuff goes for the slide. Slope angle X, slope angle Y. Yet slope degree and angles is written in C++. Gross. Oh, sorry. Being an idiot. Right, there is a get blend space inputs. I apologize to anyone that was saying that and I missed it. Some devs said there might be a UE 5.9. What? I have not seen any of that. That'll be interesting. in that into the first. So there's a get blend space input. Where is this being done in the blend stack? Get blend space inputs, animation assets. Okay. Right, I feel better now because like I was like, what was going on? Sorry, 2 secs. It's 34 degrees. I've got to have a drink. Ethan Waldo just joined. What have you investigated so far? Ragdoll was the big one, and yeah, Ragdoll. Just had to play with that, see what it's about, see how it's triggering, and that sort of thing. Yeah, placement inputs pure. Yeah, so they said they reserved the right to publish a 5.9 in the meantime in an Unreal Engine live stream a week ago. They did, but GASP isn't an official. GASP is really weird. As far as I understand it, Caleb was working with a really small team in their spare time for game animation sample project, and so GASP isn't the official repertoire. Like, you know, when you work for someone and you do something and they go, "That's ours now because you work for us." I think GASP is that, as far as I'm aware, and that's just unofficial reading between the lines sort of thing. Because before that, he worked on ALS, the Advanced Locomotion System. Plus, the guy that did the gameplay camera system, which is what I'm going to look at in a second for Mr. Make It a First Person, but not for him, because I'm not doing a first person camera in this. I'm just going to look at the camera to see if it's changed. Come on, think. Then, yeah, the guy that did the gameplay camera system, he's gone. He got laid off. I've seen his blog thing. I don't think I've got a link to it at the minute, but I'll see it. Okay, so yeah, this is running it on tick. If it's a blend space slope, if the tag contains here, so BS split slope, if that tag is here, then it does, it updates the blend space input with where it is. Useful to know, good to know, appreciate that. Where's this slope angle coming from? And we're calculating the slope angle when we update the essential values, and we're getting a lot of that from the properties just here. That's cool. I like that setup. It's a bit complicated, but I think it's a cool setup. Why wouldn't you do it for all of them? Too many animations. Too many animations. Okay. So just fix the stairs remover. Yeah. Caleb did hint they could be working on some form of sample content for UC, so let's see. I think you're closer to him than I am, Clyde, because I've not had him comment on any of my stuff, but you seem to build a good relationship, so that's a trusted source of information from Clyde there. I like his work. I like Caleb's work a lot. Obviously, everyone used ALS, and that was cool. It'd be cool if they kept him on. It's annoying and sad about the gameplay camera. Personally, I think that's a bit of a letdown. But I think he's done good work, and he's got a lot of karma in the bank, if that were, like moral credit with the community. But then again, like Matthew Wadstein had the same, and they hired him and then let him go, which was sad. So it could be the same sort of situation. We'll see. But hopefully, fingers crossed. I hope he lands a job. I'm sure whatever studio, I'm sure if he left, another studio would absolutely snap him up. And I wonder if that's the consideration that he's going to have to make, considering how like Epic's treated him. I can't say that I blame him. But no, that's just speculation from an old cynical bloke. Right, where were we? What were we doing? So we figured out blend spaces, we figured out mover, we figured out flying, we figured out ragdoll to a degree. All of this is super light touch, like getting into it. Animations. Let's look at the context. I should have made a list. Ragdoll level. Are you going to look at the motion matching interaction now? When you say that, do you mean this? I've got the wrong pawn on. Why they would put it on a different pawn confuses the hell out of me. These. Wait a minute. What? What you saying, Claudia? New Epic Game sample project just dropped. AnimGen example. The frick is that? AnimGen UE5 Epic. Oh, fuck off. It doesn't change everything. Right, let's go to Fab then. Unreal Engine. Why can't I find this? Oh, AnimGen example. Let's have to use new. Right, so this is a improvement on the agent runtime stuff that they did before. A pre-trained MC sports walking. Jesus. So this is machine learning at its finest. Okay, well that's something to have a think about and explore. Interesting. So yeah, there was an old plugin that was used for like racing cars, called the Agent Training module, and this is just its like next successor. I guess we'll take a look at that at some point. Right, let's go back to what we were doing. I mean, I'll watch his video. I don't agree with the title, but I'll watch his video for sure. I mean, I'll watch everyone's video, but I don't agree with the title. That spotting kick is so sick. Let's take away our traces and then let's investigate what's going on. Duration. I mean, if you're expecting a deep dive, you're probably in the wrong place. Like, this will be a look. Like, this is the first time I've even opened this project, so I'm looking at what's going on first. And once I've figured out that, then I'll probably do more of a thing. Right, okay. Our traces are off. Beautiful. Yeah, no, for sure. Any information is good information, right? I just don't want you to be getting your hopes up. So, take down. Demo simple shoot. What is that? Right, let's check what's going on. I thought it was contextual information. Contextual animations. Damn, there are more than one takedown. That's cool. So why is this here? Okay, so if it wants to aim, it does something different. Right, so now we know what that does. We can look at this. Can do character interaction. So, are we on the ground? Are we running a montage already? And are we not aiming? Sweet, simple enough. Try character, try multi-character. Interactable actors. How is this added to? Check for interactable actors. Where is this called? On tick. Okay. But oh Jesus. So all of your characters currently need to be the sandbox mover ragdoll to even get anything to work. Alright, let me show. Interesting. No, I want to can do character interaction. Yeah. Interactive actors. What am I looking for? I'm looking for this. Somewhere this is being set. And that's what I want to find first. I don't know if it's getting. In fact, we did find it. It was on tick, and I laughed about it, and then I forgot where it was. Check for interactable actors. So what? Form a single check for all sandbox mover ragdoll pawns in a 2-meter radius. So yeah, it's running in a 2-meter radius. Why can I not find? Where's it overlapping? Set actor. Actor. It adds it here. I'm having a mind fart. 2 seconds. So we're tracing for obstacles. If there's an obstacle that triggers the ragdoll, then we're checking for interactable actors. For duration. Okay, why can I not see this? Overlap the given spear, but there is no given spear. See this. There's no spear that's getting added here. So it just makes a random spear, but I can't set the spear to see. That's annoying. So yeah, every ticket creates a spear around our actor, which you'll have to take my word for. As long as on tick we're not doing any of these things, or we are on ground, we're not doing an animation and we're not aiming, then it clears the interactive actors. It checks to see who is interacting on spear, loots for each of them, casts to each of them to the mover ragdoll. Now this isn't annoying because the character's already loaded, because you play as it. It's annoying because now you can't do it in the CMC or any other character. That's why it's annoying. Can be interacted with as long as that's not on ground or doing an animation. Wait, no, so that doesn't even check the animation, it just checks if it's on ground. That's fine. Then it checks the location and rotation, that's fine. Then it performs a final chase against the character capsule, which we should be able to see when we do it. And then it adds it to the array of actors. Okay, duration 10. Then what does it do? So that was a complete detour from where we were going back to here. So try a multi-character interaction with the rare interactor to update on tick if there is any. Well, I need to read. Reading is important. Interaction type. Okay, so you set the interaction type here. That could just be an enum, which is fine. Try multi-character interaction. This evaluates a chooser. Love me a chooser with different PSDs. So if the interaction type is shove and we are running at them, it does this one. If it's thingy, we do this one. And then there's a new. See, the problem here is that contextual animations are experimental. And now post-search interaction asset is experimental. You're not meant to ship a game with any experimental features. Well, meant to. So, boop. I raise the dead. Let's see what happens here. Does it? This is contextual animations 2.0. Like everything is the same. The role, the victim, the weights, the origin points, so you can change whereabouts it is. It just requires less of an asset. You don't have a roles asset. So that is. So the shove here. So what does it feed it? Wait, it's got to feed it something for the interaction type, the speed. That's fine. The PSD. Then you get the chooser results. This doesn't even get added here. Oh wait, yeah, database, anim context roles. Nothing's added. That's interesting. For this index of chooser results, add this character's anim instance to the roles. Instigator role. So there's the target role. And then does it also find the motion matching query for the target? Wow, this is complex. So we check for ourselves because we're the instigator. Then we find all of the results. We loop through the results and add it to this database query. Is this not even, is this a local variable? Yeah, this local variable here. We save the index for it. Then we get that in the index. We get the context roles. We add that to its own database. And add that as the instigator role. So then we've got our instigator role. And then we need to add our target roles, which is our victim. Okay. Then we do motion matching on the above query. And for each of the motion matching results, we get the actor and we play character interaction animation. And then if self doesn't equal the sandbox pawn, which will be set somewhere, we need to add in and remove components as well. What's this play interaction? Cast here, cast to the anim montage, get the animation asset, play all this. Jesus. Having Marky Mark, how am I having fun? Fun is I'm having fun. I don't know if everyone watching's having fun. I'm having fun. This is the sort of stuff that I enjoy, like breaking stuff down and like checking what is different. This is right up my alley. There's the line trace that's running constantly to check. These animations are sick. E is a shove it. Like, I'm on 15 FPS. 25 FPS. I'm like, what's it called? I'm getting hammered. Kidney punch and a kick. Nice. So yeah, there's a new motion matching asset. That looks cool. So much of this is made on tick. Like UAF takeover from now on. 2.6. Sorry, it's too hot for me not to be rehydrating if I'm trying to talk for X amount of time. Mark, do you want a quick rundown of what I've discovered? Or does anyone want a quick rundown of what I've discovered? We'll try and do a quick fire one. I'm going to do it anyway, but I'm not waiting for people to say. Show. I can't show because showing would just be repeating what I've done. Here's a quick rundown. Ragdoll has its own pawn setup, and it uses tick constantly to check different things. It has its own movement mode for Ragdoll, which is nice. You can use blend spaces inside choosers now, which is also nice. And the chooser checks the blend space, whatever you say it to be, to set the values. So that's good. I like that. That's a good change. Motion matching interaction assets are contextual animations 2.0. That's pretty much a given. There's a fly-in mode that's been added, but it's been added for debug purposes, but at least you get a blueprint for flying rather than mine that I made last time. There's new tick events. There's new tick everything. So there's a post ABP tick and there's a prerequisite tick as well, which is cool. Smart objects. The player can interact with them. That was the first thing we did. And then we worked out that we could make it so the player could interact from behind as well as the side. So that the animations exist, which is cool. I don't think I missed anything there. No, don't think I missed anything. Yeah, let me know if I missed anything. I think I covered everything there. Post AVP tick. So once it's moved back from the cinema, we don't have an AVP cinema where I'm at, so that might have been over my head. Yeah, we did the sit down thing at the start. That was the first thing I looked at, and you can't interact with the level, NPC level, from behind. Well, I've made it so you can, but as normal, you can't. So we checked that to fix it. You can only interact from it from this side, like so. But it's quite a simple fix to make it so it's like this. I think you want a better animation, like something that jumps over the back would be pretty sick. So you can get the AI to run the tackle interaction animations too. Yeah. Yeah. You should be able to. Ragdoll level. Whoa. You definitely should be able to. How would I go about doing that? I'm going to do it this way. Get actor of class. This is not how you should do it. No, that won't work. Wait a second. I can do this. Tag. 1. Get actor of class with tag 1. Ragdoll. For each. What was takedown? Takedown was left mouse. Bam! Yeah, boy! Ready? Bam! Bam! There you go. I did a tutorial. It took fucking an hour and a half or whatever, but there's your tutorial. No, it's not. Do not do it like that at all. Obviously, this is a shit way of doing stuff. Don't do this. Do something like when the AI is close to a line trace, and then if the line trace hits the player, run this try character interaction. Like do something like that. Okay. But I'm not programming a whole ass AI when I'm just exploring a system. So hopefully you understand. But if not, also, like, I've given you a starting point. What do you want from me, man? What do you want from me? Yeah, so you definitely do it in some sort of state tree. Personally, I prefer a behavior tree, but Mark will shout at me because I know I should be using a state tree. But yeah, you want in some sort of proper AI system, but you would run it like this. Like it's not overly difficult to run. Yeah, it's cool, right? Like, tonight's real stream is about GASP 2. Yeah, I'm doing this like an hour beforehand because I want to watch the stream as well. And then like I like to look at this stuff and then go into the stream and I can be like, how do you do this? Because I can't figure it out. And then hopefully you. Plus, also when you guys have a question, at least then I can like try and answer it. Whereas I expect tonight's AI stream GASP stream will be quite heavy. How you look at? I wouldn't do it that way, but good job, you're smart. Yeah, man, I wouldn't do it this way either. Like I say, it's an awful way of doing stuff, but it's pretty cool. So, question: what is like this about? What? Don't know what you're saying, bro. Okay. Yeah, it'll be like the taking the piss out of me. It's fine, but I don't understand the joke. Where are we? Camera system. I think that the gameplay camera is not good. That is my controversial opinion, considering that it's probably one of my most popular videos. But I still think the gameplay cameras suck. I don't think they've had enough time to bake, personally. There's a ragdoll camera, that's new. You like game? You like the gameplay camera? Fair. There's just not enough. Again, just not enough support for it. Not enough stuff for it. What are the current camera setups that they've got set up here? Let's first investigate that. So a close camera that's not very close, a medium camera, a far camera, a debug camera. Does this debug if I ragdoll? There's not even like a... Oh wait, no, there is a ragdoll camera in there. I bet it activates if we're crouched. So this chooser right here. Twin stick. When does the ragdoll camera activate? Ragdoll. Movement when movement ready equals ragdoll, then the ragdoll camera activates. It's pretty obvious. I was messing with it this morning, making third, first, and top down. That's awesome, man. Like I said, I just don't think there's enough support for it to do what I want to be able to do with it. So, for instance, like you make a 100% full tour of it. Mate, if you spam the same thing, I'm just not going to do it because it's just going to piss me off. Like, that's the point in it. Like, just one guy who's doing this for fun. I ain't getting paid. Like, it's just going to wind me up and I'm going to be like, no, I'm good. Like, I read all the comments. I think Mark can vouch for me that I'm pretty good at responding to people. I've been on holiday for a week, so I've got some stuff to come back to, but like spamming stuff is just going to annoy me. Right, where are we? So yeah, here's the reason I dislike the gameplay camera for me personally. I don't think there's enough like options. So here, so we've got the post-processing settings. This is improved, which is nice. They've got materials in here yet. Ah, yeah, okay. So this was not here back in the day. Okay, maybe my opinion will change on this one. Interesting. So nothing has changed here. Everything is the same, apart from there's an hour ragdoll camera and stuff. So we'll see. The old tutorial should still work for this. Camera offset. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Moving on. Which character is using this at the minute? Someone's character. Which Tuesday is using this? Medium free cam. So if I just do this and this. And then you just move the camera to the head. And that's like super basic. Have they fixed this stupid rotate? No. Nah. So you need to still be locked to the strafe movement on here, but yeah, like it's pretty much the same. Move the offset of the boom to the head. Why don't I? Did I try that before and I didn't like it? Why? But then if we... Okay, let's have a look what you're saying. I'm not like saying... Let's see. So it's not 90, it's 180. 180. It's definitely not 180, it's 150 then. There you go. I like it on the head, man, because like this rotation, because of the dampening, because because the camera moves out of. Oh wait, that might be me. Yeah, no, I like it on the head. I'm surprised they didn't include one already. Like it's got all the options in here, close, medium, far. Why wouldn't you put a first person in here? But then when we've been messing with the animations and the turn in place and stuff for Mover, I've just never liked. It's slow. Just the way that Mover works, there's no way currently of fixing how slow that is. Like slow moving stuff like this, perfectly fine. Quick zippy animations, you're behind. So yeah, it's a pain. What is... It seems like they've done nothing to the CMC this update. Am I just imagining that? Did the CMC get any love? It got tick love. They gave it some love on tick by adding extra tick. They're like, what does it need? It needs extra tick. That's exactly what it needs. Right. Can you make a full 100% tutorial playlist on how to create a Sekiro-style combat system and a Sekiro-style boss for blocking attack pro system, including the game generation support? I've made an AI like tutorial for Souls-like bosses. Sekiro is a Souls-like game, so like most of the stuff that you want is in that, and that's a full like finished playlist. So the problem with series is they do well at the start and then they drop like a plane. So the best kind of video is a 20 to 30 minute video for people, and that's what does the best. Like, I've never really cared about the results, but also I'm also a bit like, I don't want to waste a lot of my time if people don't want to see. I'd rather like put stuff into my own game too. That AI series is finished. Unless there's a request that someone is making, then it's finished. I've done everything I want to do in it. It's got grabs. It's got like different weapons, different attacks, spells, all sorts. So unless there's something missing and someone says, please can you add this? It's about as finished as it's going to get. Yeah, I mean, I think back in the day, long tutorial, not even long tutorial series, but like long videos where people were making full games, they did quite well as a video. It just depends on what people want to see, right? Did it really get no love? Oh, it got no love at all. My gosh. That's sad. Regular release times, regular content. Yeah. I tried to be every 3 days, and that was fine. But now I'm just like do whatever, mate. Honestly, I'm making enough money and my life is pretty solid. So, oh shit, I've still got this on. No. Just do it for a giggle, mate. Yeah, that kidney punching stuff is nice. I imagine, mate, that a lot of people are going to do a video on the motion matching interactions and how to set up your own animations. For sure, without a doubt. 100%. We. So I imagine we'll see a lot of people come out of the woodwork and release new videos. It's this frame drop that's getting me. Like I'm on 30 FPS. That animation's sick. Love that combat kick. I think that'd be awesome. A crotch kick that sends him into a front flip. Get up, you mug. Do you really think UAF is going to take over? From playing with it, like, I'm not sure. Run an insight trace, mate. That would be so boring. Give you some advice for a 13-year-old that wants to improve. Let's break stuff. Right click, print string. Put that where you think things are going and print out what you think is happening. That is basically this entire video is me just breaking stuff and going. Like, I know where stuff's going, but if I didn't, I'd just be saying, oh, why is it not printing this? And I would figure out from there. And then just watch lots of people code in different ways. I code in a very particular way to me, and other people code in a particular way to them. And even these animation projects or these sample projects will code in a different way. You think it's better to use CAS to sync my gun reload animations? You can just do them from like a sequence, right? You could just sequence a sequence node, play animation, play montage top. In fact, not even a sequence. Play montage for the player and then play montage on the gun. So, like, you could just do the same animation in the same animation flow. I don't think you need to get complicated with it. I think you can do it CAS way, but I think CAS is still experimental and still buggy. I'd never got CAS to work nicely. And then I think this is massively overkill for a gun animation reload, personally. But we shall see. Close other tabs. There's a look at control rig in there. Let's have a look at that. In UE7, UE6 still has blueprints. So, sometimes my hands and mags don't sync up. Isn't that just going to be down to your IK? I have crashed my computer. No, it's all fixed. I definitely didn't ignore anyone. If I did, I apologize. Walking towards. I'll take a look at that in a second. I'm going to have a look at this. Look at POI level. I think that's the only way that you learn stuff properly, right? Is to break stuff. And then you can figure out why it's broken. So like the more you do, the more you're gonna learn. A lot of people think so. Obviously, I make tutorials, but the time that I spend researching what's going on in the tutorial, you're never gonna see, like, because that'd take forever. You'll see a few 20 minutes or 30 minutes of the perfect system, perfected as far as I can make it. But you're never gonna see the hour or 2 hours unless you watch the stream of me pulling out my hair. Do you know what I mean? Pertinent part of Canada's post. On the positive side, my focus will now be fully on UE6 and UAF, where I, along with many others who are truly some of the best in the business, are working hard to ensure that the future gameplay animation in Unreal can succeed. That's positive. I think the thing about UAF is that we don't know how it looks inside the verse yet. So that we know what UAF looks like here, but as a whole inside the verse and how that works, because we don't know what verse looks like properly. And we can look at Fortnite verse and we can look at UE5, UAF, and we can smash them together and be like, it might look like this, but we just don't know. Obviously, someone knows. They're working on it, and that's cool. But also, it'd be nice to not know. To know other stuff too. They did put googly eyes on him. They put weird eyes on him. I don't think they're googly. Click labels on the characters to look at controls. Oh, I see. I see. That didn't make any sense. This is a blend space. I don't even think this is a control rig. About loop sample. I feel like I like this more than the other thing. Pawn, look at character. Wait, what did I see there? ABP, look at. Loop, loop, loop. Additive pose correction. Alright, okay, so they do use a control rig here. But they also have a blend space for this, because I saw it as I was pulling animations. Yeah, there's a blend space for this. Is this just the body? So this is just an additive blend space for the body moving left to right. And then the head follows using the control rig. Additive pose correction. There's the blend space. Modify the curve. Interesting. Can't tell the thousands of hours and the back pain I get being addicted to modifying and understand templates. I spend so much time on city sample trying to transfer some ability to another pawn, then a city sample for entire weeks and sort around to spawn a character that can try and swap to move a character. The city sample is probably the only one that I haven't spent any time in because it was metahumans and it just didn't interest me. That's the probably one that I've avoided the most. Finding dirty kind of turnarounds when I can't get what I want a normal way. Done a few of those. I had to do a lot of those in our game just because like tutorial stuff. So like when you make a game, you like use the left joystick to run around and the right joystick to look around. That's not a normal thing to do. That's like a one-off thing that happens at the start. So I had to do some janky ways to get that to work. Okay, so look at POI character. This is the Sandbox character CMC. What you want to know is where is Winnie the Pooh voice. The Winnie the Pooh voice is in my head. That's what I use to read comments that I think are unnecessarily annoying. Like, that's the voice I use in my head. That's why things don't get to me. There's just a random variable knocking around here. So add here, add tick components to the left and right eye. That's what you want. It takes so much. They must have just like they must have the most powerful computers because every part of it has a tick. Since additive rotates the hit also the way to now, you can turn this down with additional procedure adjustments via curves. Jeez. In production, one simply set up smaller limits or disable completely in PDA. Primary data asset. So they set up a data asset for the look at body parts and then the foot fix as well. The whole thing's just like crazy complicated, isn't it? Okay. So here they just modify the curves. Where do they use the data asset? Okay. Here, look at POI. Find references. Okay. Look at POI, safe, get dev mode, POI target H. Yeah, this is going to be a showcase of control rig. Control rig. So like Mark said, right? I'm staring at something now. I've got no idea what's happening in it because me and control rig are just not in sync. You're not going to understand everything, and you just accept. Like, you need to accept it because you'll spend ages trying to think you understand certain things and then find something else and want to understand that. And the goal at the end of the day is a game, right? So that's what you should make. Make a game. Construction event. Unpack data table. Got that. Set draw debug options. Set in it with no errors. Okay, set error message. Check if root bone exists. Get min distance. I feel like this is hugely overkill for a look at system, surely? Or is it because it's like a is it because it's trying to be a very good look at system? Whereas all the look at systems I've got have a target that I just turn the head to. Like that. Whereas this is trying to turn the body as well. Let's just give it a. This has a patrol and move as well, so let's see. I'm not turning my head to see if I turn my body as well. I don't think I'd turn my body if I was like that way in front of someone. I might have to if I'm here. But I'm probably just turning around. Oh, it's the eyes on this one. It's the slow move on the eyes. He's like suspicious and shit. It's like, I'm upset with you, and I've got my eye on you. What are you doing? What's gestures? It just looks unnatural. I wouldn't be tilting my head at the floor when I'm like telling someone to fuck off. Where are you looking, bro? I don't. I'd like. Really? How? How do they? Is that how you say coming in? Like, I'm gonna have to do some mocap stuff now. I'm just like, yeah, coming in. I'm like, my head doesn't go to the ground. It would go like that way. I don't know. Don't know on this one. I think this one misses the mark a little bit for me. I think it's cool, and I like to see different ways of doing stuff. Where'd those eyes go? Why are they always here? It's like a green valet at a door. You think? That makes sense. Does it say? No. Okay. Interesting. Right. Yeah, that one is a bit derpy. What was I looking at? Enhanced smart objects, slope detection, we've covered. This additive control loop thing. The ragdoll stuff we looked at. This is probably the one that you're going to see a lot of people just do a video on, like, straight away. What's going to be my first video that I'm going to do with this new stuff? Ooh, that's a question. What should it be? Wait, what? PCA sandbox. Okay, let's have a look at that. I know what my first video is going to be. It's just going to be me saying, I've updated my animation pack. That's it. Like, PCA sandbox character. Is it shift to test this? Or is it alt? I can never remember. Walk. Preview profiles, kinematic, this. Profiles. What's the test for the physics asset. Can't remember what it is. Okay, Shan. What's up, mate? You good? How's weight bones? Perspective. Physics. Focus strength. Cannot for the life of me remember what it is. Simulate. Oops. We can simulate the ragdoll, and that's fine. But it should be able to also simulate the kinematic. But I just cannot figure it out. Can't remember. I feel like I'm missing something. There we go. That's the one. It's shift. That's cool. That's its physical animation. So that's like when you're brushing past someone, it just like smacks them around a bit. This is a cool little play toy. Not showing the use case. Right. It's 30 minutes until the epic actual showcase. So and it's been 2 hours. So what we're gonna do is we will call it there, and we will catch you in the next one. And hopefully, should be some videos. I need to. This is the last update. Yum up. Unless they do some backtreading, this is the last GASP 5.8 update, which is fun. So what's next? We need to update our animation pack. I need to do a video on the free assets I'm not even like looked at yet, and then I need to see what is going on in here, and if I want to do a video on any of this stuff, like potentially the interaction asset. But I think a lot of people are going to do it, and if a lot of people are doing it, I don't want to do it because like unless there's something that they've missed or something they've not gone into, then I won't touch it really. So it'll be interesting. I'll probably do a how to move it from one place to another, but it's more complicated than just shifting. Yeah, than shifting, because that ragdoll pawn is a beast. Just with all this setup, but we'll see. We'll see what the crack is, and we'll go from there. So yeah, man, thanks for hanging out. It's been 2 hours of breaking stuff, making stuff, checking stuff out, fixing stuff, and see it. And we'll go from there. Remember to walk up and kick those NPCs. Sorry, you did say that, mate. You did say that. Let me give him a boot just for you. NPC level. Yeah, sorry, it's the ragdoll level, isn't it? You walk up to him, Hey, kick him in the nuts. And that's it. Yeah. Walk up to it. Yeah. Kick him in the nuts. Imagine the power you'd have to kick someone to make them flip over. Like, that is... Oh, Greg's? No, mate, we had McDonald's. Wow, it's brutal. Absolutely brutal. I don't think I'd be able to, like... I'd never be able to walk. I had a quick look and a local MP doesn't work. What? No, it doesn't. I already can tell. Sorry. Yeah, no, they don't multicast anything. It's complete single player. That could be a fun thing to, like, have a look at. I might do it. I don't think they'll do multiplayer stuff. No, Count Binface didn't win. He won morally, but fucking Farage won, mate. Sad times. It would have been great to say that one of our political people was a bin. I mean, they're all fucking bins, but... Damn. No, Binface didn't win. We're completely off the topic of Unreal now, and I'm just meant to be going. But yeah, no, Binface didn't win, and that's sad. Could you imagine being part of Collected Upon Sea and being like, who's your MP? Or who do you need to write for it to? I need to write to Binface from, like, X place. I've done it. Go up to the character, walk behind him slowly, and then kick him in the nuts, and he flips over. Could metahuman crowd be used with the takedown ragdoll? I've not looked into metahuman crowd. Me and metahumans didn't get on with it. But like, we've already set it up. We already set it up so an NPC can do the thing. That's not overly difficult. Might make more AI tutorials. I like doing the AI stuff, but they're longer series, and I dislike longer series. Oh, jeez. He shoved me down. That shove doesn't have any power behind it at all. Where did your legs go, bro? It's just like slow-mo. Anyway, right. The proper Unreal thing that is not me, no affiliation, is in 25 minutes. And yeah, we'll see you then. So have a great weekend. If I don't catch you tomorrow, then I'll catch you in the next video. Just keep your suggestions coming for things you might want to see.